Hey, how you doing everybody? My name is CherryBoy, and welcome back to Ascendant Hearts. Let's get right back into it. Faint dreams of the real world haunt my sleep, but when I wake up in the inn, I don't feel as bad about it this time. This world is a lot different from anything I'm used to, but it's not bad. Yeah. Would I feel differently about it if I remembered my home? Maybe, but for now, there's little point in worrying about it. I sit down at an empty table with my breakfast again. Even though we mainly focused on Ninsei's quest yesterday, the enemies we found in the library still dropped enough gold for me to feel comfortable spending it. Nice. Good morning. Aiko's quiet greeting meets my ears a second before she pauses near the table. I gesture toward the empty seat across from me and she takes it with a smile. How are you doing? Good. A little tired after yesterday though. Shiori and I went to the ancient library of Kerr. Shiori? Yes. You were in a party with her? Even after the reaction from the other townspeople and Shiori's comment about how no one wanted to be in a party with her, I didn't expect such surprise from Aiko. She seemed so mild-mannered. Yes, I am. So you won't believe this, but yesterday we took on an NPC quest put up by High Cleric Ninsei himself. You weren't worried about fighting alongside her? I sigh. My attempt to change the subject failed. Ninsei is important, but even he can't top the taboo of adventuring with Shiori. I like her. She's a fine party member. A little word, I guess. I like her. I'm really starting to think of Shiori as a friend. This attitude people have toward her is getting on my nerves. Aiko looks down at the table. Why does it matter to you? You seem like a nice person, Hayato. That's all. What does that have to do with anything? There you are. Speak of the devil. As Shiori bounds up to our table, I try to look as casual and not as though we were talking about her. Oh, who's your friend? I blink in surprise. Aiko seemed to know something about her, but they've never met. This is Aiko. She's new in town, but she's not an adventurer. Hi, Aiko. I'm Shiori. It's good to meet you. Forgot the voice I gave her. Aiko shakes her hand, but doesn't meet her gaze. Have you eaten, Shiori? Or do you want to join us for breakfast? You want me to? Why not? Actually, I need to be going. Once again, she stands up even though she didn't finish eating and hurries out of the room. I stare after her in dismay. If she and Shiori had a chance to talk, surely she'd realize she's a fine party member. Shiori's gaze drops and she sighs. I suppose that was my fault. Does she know you from somewhere? No, never mind. She sits down in Aiko's vacated seat. Let me know when you're ready. You're not gonna eat? I had breakfast at home. I would have joined you two to be friendly, but... She trails off and I don't press the matter. I finish eating quickly. Whatever the problem is, I'll need to ask sometime. It's come up too many times now. Still, if she doesn't like to talk about it, I'll leave it at that for now. Once I finish, I stand up. What sort of quests are we going on today? I thought we'd do some simple quests in the forest near here. The monsters there are a little tougher than what you'd faced so far, but you should be capable. Especially with you by my side. Let's go! Alright, adventure. This forest seems so quiet and peaceful. Are you sure it's... A massive bird screeches and lunges at my head. Its talons rake through my hair before it settles a few feet away. Why do you scream every time a new monster appears? It attacked me! Monsters will do that. Now fight! I recover from my surprise and take an ineffectual swing at the bird with my sword. The blade ruffles its feathers, but otherwise doesn't do much. At least I have a capable partner and a backup plan. I focus on my defense and increase my resilience with shield. This is starting to become second nature. Shiori lifts her hands and a bolt of lightning strikes the monster. It drops instantly. Weak point, critical hit. Sometimes I wonder why I bother trying. Her amusement fades and she turns towards me. I think you need a stronger weapon. What's wrong with my sword? Aside from the fact that it barely scratched the flapper? The flapper? Who names these monsters? Well, some of their names come from ancient sources, but the Guildmaster standardized most of their names across the realm. This is the second time I've heard about the Guildmaster. Who is he exactly? Once we didn't have an adventuring system like this. No quests, no official skills, just a few people with weapons fighting off the occasional monster attacks. Once monsters became more common, the Guildmaster decided something had to be done. He developed our current system. And it spread across the whole realm, monster names and everything. It was such an inefficient system, and no one else was prepared to deal with the surge in monster attacks, even if they didn't feel as strongly as this town did. So the town has monster attacks more often? Yes, remember, the monsters that attacked you when we first met? How could I forget? They don't show up anywhere else, just in this area. Ah, strange. She suddenly jabs her finger at my chest. But let's not forget the matter at hand. You need a stronger weapon if you're going to be any use against anything tougher than a whammer. I'll get one back in town. Good. She glances around at the trees. Still, we can probably complete the 2 quests I took. I'll defeat 5 flappers, you collect 10 eggs. Sorry. Flapper eggs? The thought of invading the nests of those monstrous birds doesn't thrill me. No, light bird eggs. They're non-violent birds that nest in the trees around here. If you climb a few, you should find enough in no time. Isn't it cruel to steal their eggs? Didn't I see you eating scrambled eggs with breakfast? Well, yes. That's different. I didn't see those eggs taken from their nests. And I certainly didn't do it myself. Fine, we'll make a deal. You don't have to take the light bird eggs, but that means no more eggs for breakfast or any other meal. I'll get the eggs. I thought so. What can I say? I like eggs. You do know how to climb a tree, right? Of course I can climb a tree. I have no memories of climbing trees. I walk to the nearest trunk and eye the bark dubiously. I probably climbed a tree sometime. I just forgot. As soon as I start, it'll probably come right back to me. Climbing a tree is like climbing a bicycle. Once you learn, you never forget. Climbing a bicycle. Here it goes. I must be out of practice. Maybe I never climbed a tree before. Well, I've taken out 5 flappers. How many? What happened to you? It's not like a bicycle. Did you hit your head when you fell? No! Don't tell me I need to get the eggs, too. I hesitate. Ugh. I'll do it. No, I'm going. I said I'll do it! I can't face the humiliation of not being able to fight the monsters or complete this task. You'll break your neck and then I'll have to drag your body back to town. We lunge for the trunk at the same time. I get a foothold first and begin to climb. This time, I don't fall immediately. With a grin of triumph, I twist to look down at Shiori. Big mistake. My foot slips and I lose my tentative grip on the tree. Ah! The impact isn't as harsh as I expected, and when I open my eyes, I realize Shiori unintentionally broke my fall. Ouch. Sorry, waifu Shiori. Get off me, you idiot! Oops, sorry. Get up! Dazed from the impact, I take a moment to catch my breath and figure out how to best to do this. I'm not entirely on top of Shiori, but I've landed in such an awkward position that I could easily make this more awkward if I'm not careful. You have until the count of 3. I'm working on it. In particular, I need to figure out where to put my hands to push myself up. 1. Maybe I don't need to brace myself after all. I should be able to just sit up. I'll still have her partially pinned, but then I can stand. 2. I cautiously straighten and get to my feet. Finally. Apologize, laugh it off. Let's just apologize. Sorry about that. You better be. It was an accident. If you say so. What's that supposed to mean? It's the old fall out of the tree and land on the girl trick. Oldest trick in the book. What's the second oldest? They can see a guy who can't climb a tree start to fall and don't move out of the way trick? As if. She shoves past me, towards the tree and more clearly designed to hit me with her elbow as hard as possible. Probably the 3rd oldest trick. That whole thing was ridiculous. Just stand still and let me get the eggs. She approaches the tree and glances over her shoulder. I'm serious. She places her hands on the trunk and starts to climb. Then she looks back at me again. Don't you dare try anything. I'm standing still. You better be. It still frustrates me to stand by uselessly and watch her do all the work, but I stay where I am while she clambers up and down the tree trunks like a monkey. Within several minutes, she's collected 10 eggs. I think that's enough excitement for one day. I'm sorry. Stop apologizing and carry the eggs. I accept them and slip them into my pockets. It still feels weird, but less so than before. Soon the 10 eggs are safely in my inventory. Well, at least you've learned that much. Indeed I have. It's a quiet trek back to town. I can tell she's still annoyed with me, and I'm not sure if it's more because I couldn't climb the tree, or because I made her fall. Get your sword, and then we'll turn in these quests. Are you still mad at me? Just go get your weapon. I've grown used to my current weapon, but after a quick trip to the equipment shop, I bought a new, stronger sword. With it, I'll be able to do some real damage to those monsters, maybe enough to impress Shiori and repay her for how much she's helped me. Not that she seemed impressed when I returned with it. She led me to the town hall without a word. Alrighty. While she turns in our quests, I walk over to the table where I learned Shield. That strange sensation has returned, and this time I recognize it as the presence of a skill point. I scanned the list of skills I can learn. There's a low-level skill available to me called Protect Ally. From the description, it'll let me take blows from my party members. It sounds dangerous, but I take it. This way, I'll be able to help out in battle, even when my attacks don't work. To my surprise, the instructions for learning Protect Ally are even simpler than the instructions for Shield. Unfortunately, they revolve around focusing my attention until I become hyper-aware of everyone's position in battle so I can jump in if someone's in danger. This is going to take a lot of practice. I turned in our quests. Here's your share of the gold. I really am sorry about what happened. Isn't there some way I can make it up to you? Why don't I buy you lunch? Well, alright. She suddenly looks sly. But I get to pick whatever I want. Oh boy. Is she gonna go with steak? Did you really take advantage of my offer to make me buy you an expensive meal? I fought all the monsters, collected all the eggs, and nearly got crushed by you because you like falling out of trees. Fine. She smirks and returns to her meal, her large, expensive meal. Well, I did agree to buy whatever she wanted for lunch. In spite of myself, I smile. Everything's back to normal again. Once we're done eating, we'll probably take on a few more quests. Then I laugh. What's so funny? I just realized I'm having a good time. You sound surprised. I shrug, not sure how to explain. This world seems so strange to me at first, but now I think about quests and monsters like it's perfectly normal. And here I am, eating lunch with my friend. Do I have friends back home? I can't remember. My patchy memories don't contain anything like this. Even if I forgot the specifics, surely I wouldn't forget this warm feeling. Are we friends? Huh? Why are you asking that all of a sudden? What? Bright light flashes outside the tavern windows. All around us, adventurers jump up and run for the door. At the same time, other people rush inside, eyes wide and panicked. Shiori leaps to her feet. What's going on? Monsters. Huh? Confused, I stare at her for a moment, but then I remember what she said when we first met. The monsters that attacked me are always preceded by a flash of light. I stand and draw my new sword. Let's go! Yeah. Oh no, they wrecked the place. Where do they come from? They warp in. The monsters snap at me, and I thrust forward with my sword. My new weapon is a marked improvement. The creature flinches back with a squeal, and purple-black blood spurts from the wound I made. Warp? Like magic? Shiori sends a burst of fire towards another one of the monsters. Yes, that's probably what the flash of light means. I remember my new skill and try to keep track of where Shiori is as we continue to fight. It's harder than I thought. During battle, everything is a blur of chaos. It'll be a long time before I'm able to shield her effectively. But at least I can fight. I strike down one of the attacking monsters. Do they have magic attacks then? No. Shards of ice shoot from her outstretched hands and knock back a group of 3 monsters. They arrive here through magic. They don't seem to possess any magical talent themselves. Adventurers confront monsters throughout the square. Most people have formed parties, even if they weren't together previously. A few still fight alone or in pairs, and I wave to them since we have an incomplete party too. They ignore us. A few even frown. What did I ever do to them? It's not you, it's me. Why? Not a good time. We stand back to back and take down the newest group of monsters. At last, they're all defeated. Peace falls over the town square once again. Phew. I think they're coming in greater numbers than they used to. I wonder where they come from. Yeah. She abruptly smacks my arm and points to a man walking towards us. That's him! That's the guildmaster. I appreciate the explanation, although I suspect she mainly said it so I don't accidentally insult him like I did in Say.
Excellent! We've successfully rebuffed the monster attack.
The guildmaster approaches us with a slow, calm gait.
You must be Hayato.
I jump, surprised he knows me by name. Yes, that's me. He regards me as though I'm a curiosity in a museum.
You're quite a mystery to me, young man. I have no record of you living here until the day you become an adventurer.
That's right, sir. I'm new here.
Where did you come from?
I'm not sure.
Oh?
I have amnesia. I can't remember much of anything before I woke up in front of the fountain.
Is that so? Interesting.
His glittering stare gives me the creeps. I glance toward Shiori. Maybe she'll say something to draw his attention away from me. He follows my gaze.
Oh yes, I heard you're working together as party members.
That's right. Her voice is barely audible. The guildmaster regards her for a second longer, and then fixes me with a stern expression.
Beware, Shiori. Young man, she cannot be trusted.
Question him. Stand up for Shiori. Yeah, stand up. Well, wait a minute. I've gotten to know Shiori, and she's a good person. Whatever you think you know about her is wrong.
Are you daft or just willfully ignorant?
Huh?
I am the guildmaster. You're a stranger in our town, and one with amnesia at that. Who is the better judge of an adventurer, the guildmaster or an anemic stranger? Amnesiac stranger.
When it's put like that, it sounds pretty bad. But still, I can't let him say things like that about Shiori. I'm Shiori's party member. She's given me advice, helped me. I don't know what you have against her, but you're wrong.
She pretends to be your ally for now, but the day might yet arrive when she betrays you.
Betrays me?
Heed my advice and leave her company before it is too late.
With that, he stalks away. I turn toward Shiori, but she stares down at her feet and refuses to look at me. Why would he say that? She doesn't answer. Come on, every time someone finds out I'm in your party, they get weird about it. Don't I deserve to know what's going on? Yes, you do. She still doesn't look at me. I've never heard her sound so depressed before.
Ooh, nerd CG.
I'm not originally from this town. I grew up in a place called Dunbury. One day, it was attacked.
By who?
I don't know. No one knows. Whoever it was, they wiped out the entire village. I wasn't home that day. I was playing alone in the forest. When I got back, everyone was dead.
I'm sorry.
I had nowhere to go, so I came here.
I still don't understand. Why don't people want you as a party member? Just because you're an outsider? But so am I.
I have what is known as an unverifiable backstory. Everyone who knew me is dead, so no one can confirm I am who I say I am. No one can prove I didn't destroy the village myself.
Her voice breaks.
The attack left behind clear signs of magic, specifically elemental magic.
She gives me a meaningful stare. Elemental magic. Like the fire and ice attacks I've seen her use against the monsters? I can see her magic being strong enough to wipe out a village, even if I can't believe she was the culprit. Okay, but if you haven't done anything since then, I don't see why they mistrust you now.
When adventurers go on quests, serious quests, not just the little ones we've done, sometimes not everyone in the party is loyal. Someone betrays the others, maybe even kills a party member for real.
I don't see the connection.
There was a case where an adventurer came from a city wiped out by plague. It turned out his own experiments caused the incident, and he found new test subjects among his party members. Another time, an adventurer came from a distant land to aid us during a time of war, but she was actually a spy, and turned on our party when they came too close to the truth.
I still don't see what this has to do with you.
She sighs. The point is, they hid their true backgrounds with stories that couldn't be proven. Traitors often have unverifiable backstories, like mine.
Silence falls between us. I stare at her. She continues to look at the ground. I try to work my way through what I just heard. What?
I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner. I was just so happy to have someone to fight alongside for once.
I mean, people think you're a traitor, not because you did anything suspicious, but because they can't prove you aren't suspicious. Your home was destroyed, so they think maybe you betrayed some serious mission. No one wants to be in a party with you because you vaguely fit the description of someone who would murder a party member.
Pretty much, yes.
That's...
I'm sorry.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. At last she looks up. Her gaze meets mine.
Huh?
That's an absurd reason to mistrust someone. You've given me no reason to doubt you. So as far as I'm concerned, we can be party members whenever you want.
Thank you.
For a moment, she stares at me in amazement. Then she jumps forward and hugs me. Her arms wrap tightly around me, and she presses herself close.
Thank you.
She releases me and beams. You know what? We should find the source of these monster attacks and stop them. Then no one will doubt your loyalty to the town ever again.
That just might work. She bounces on her heels, apparently giddy at the thought. I've actually taken some notes on the monsters. They might help. Wait here, I'll go get them.
She turns to walk away, but then glances back at me.
Oh, and Hayato? The question you asked me earlier. The answer is yes.
While I wait for Shiori to return with her notes, I decide to take a look around. After all, if we want to find the origin of the monsters, maybe they left some clues behind. Debris and monster remains lie everywhere. I crouch and sift through the nearest pile of wreckage without success.
Did you lose something?
I look up at Aiko and then stand. Actually, I'm looking for clues about these monsters.
Clues?
What they are, where they came from, why they attack, that sort of thing. They don't behave like regular monsters.
True, the dark wolves attack Lightshore without mercy.
She crouches and looks through the debris with me. Anything?
Not yet.
We head to another part of the square where the monsters fought and search there as well. And then another. Just as I'm about to lose hope, Aiko picks something up and studies it with a curious look. What is it? She holds out a small white flower for me to see. Thank you. Do you think it's a clue? That doesn't look important. Do you think it's a clue?
I do. I've never seen flowers like these in town, but here they are, growing in the wreckage. Isn't it possible the dark wolves brought them here?
It isn't quite what I associate with those horrible monsters, but she's right. I haven't seen any flowers like it in town either.
I'm back.
Shiori runs to join me with a thick notebook in her arms. But she stops a few feet away with a scowl for Aiko. Aiko's face falls.
Oh, she's involved. I suppose you think you'd be more helpful?
Hey Aiko, don't tell me you believe all this stuff about Shiori not being who she says she is because of what happened to her hometown. She hands me the flower.
I need to leave.
Wait! But it's too late. She hurries away without another glance back. I stare after her, frustrated.
She gave you a flower?
I turn my attention back to her.
Not that I care. You can get flowers from whoever you like. It just seems odd. Especially since flowers like that are rarely used as gifts.
I laugh. No, it's not a gift. We were looking for any clues left behind by the monsters, and she found this in the wreckage. She takes it from me and gives it a closer look.
Flowers like these grow at the sacred spring. I've never seen them anywhere else.
Should we investigate?
Yes, the sacred spring is a pool of water at the base of the mountains to the northeast. My notes have indicated a possible northeastern origin for these monsters.
What? How can you tell something like that when they warp in all the time?
Their physiology provides several signs.
Huh?
I'll show you. She leads me to one of the more intact monsters and indicates its body with a wave of her hand. The thick coat suggests it lives in a cold climate, which would place it in either north or far to our south. And note the paws. These paws are made for traversing rough, uneven surfaces, such as the mountain range.
Wait, the monsters aren't just made by magic or something?
That wouldn't make any sense.
She lives in a world where you can carry objects around in invisible inventory and monsters respawn after they're defeated, but magically created monsters don't make sense.
Monsters all have biology suited to the conditions where they live.
As I hear more, enough science, more action! That's best it. Enough science, more action! Let's head northeast and track these monsters to their source.
I agree that we should follow this clue, but we can't rush in blindly.
Why not?
Are you crazy? We could get killed.
But we'll just respawn, right?
No! She looks horrified. If a dark wolf kills you, you'll really be dead.
Wait, what? Does that make any sense?
Respawning is part of a special relationship between adventurers and monsters, as if the exchange of experience and items, but if you intend to truly kill a monster, or it intends to truly kill you, the normal rules are null and void.
What?
When the dark wolves attack our town, they intend to actually kill people, which is what makes them so dangerous.
But life and death don't work that way!
Yes, they do.
Every time I think I understand this world, something like this comes up. I can accept a world in which death is a minor setback, weird though it sounds, but for it to vary by situation.
When someone enters combat, the gods judge them. The judgment determines whether they die permanently or are sent back to be revived. If, as in our situation, both parties are treated as an adventurous battle for experience and items, the god revives them if they die.
So what you're saying is that the monsters that attack Lightshire,
they can both kill and be killed.
What if an adventurer thinks they're regular monsters for a quest or something?
It doesn't matter. If either participant in the battle intends genuine harm, no one will respawn.
Yikes.
In short, you need to be careful, especially around dark wolves.
No kidding.
Why do these people accept these weird things?
If they woke up in the world I came from, would they be completely baffled by a world where death is permanent and battles don't yield magical experience points? And the gods here must be the real deal, unless there's another explanation for people coming back to life based on their intent.
Well, we better hurry if we want to check out the sacred spring before dark.
She puts her notebook away into her inventory, of course, and marches towards the edge of town. Confused or not, I slip the tiny flower into my own inventory and follow her. Alright, that's all the time I have for this one, everyone, but thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like below. And if there's any other games you'd like me to play, please leave a comment down below. And if you like this and would like to see more, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, as that would be epically appreciated of you. And as always, my name is CherryBoy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! See ya!